Hi everyone, my name is Manal Fayez and you're watching From Scratch. On today's episode of From Scratch, we're making pickles. We're making two different types of pickles to use for our final dish of the day. We're making burgers. So for the first pickle that we're gonna make, it's going to be a very easy pickle. And for that, what you're gonna need is some salt, some whole black peppercorns, bay leaves, sliced onions that are very thinly sliced and very even thinly sliced, white vinegar, and some sugar. So as you can tell, we're making pickled onions, and this is a very easy way to make pickled onions. For the pickling liquid, what you're gonna need to do is grab a pot, pour in your vinegar. And this is just white vinegar that we're using. We're gonna add in all of that sugar, all of that salt, a few black peppercorns, and 2 bay leaves. You don't want to add too many bay leaves. It is actually said that having too many bay leaves can actually be poisonous. So you want to be careful. Just add 2 bay leaves in there. I'm going to bring this liquid, this pickling liquid, up to a boil. So it's super simple. This is just a very versatile pickling liquid, and you can do this with any type of vegetable, even fruits as well. This is just a standard pickling liquid that we're gonna use to pour over our sliced vegetables for the day. So I'm gonna start off with our sliced onions. Since I am going to be using this for the day, I'm not gonna be reserving it in a container to keep it pickled. What I'm gonna do is actually keep it in this bowl and then use it straight out of this bowl. So this has properly come up to a boil. What I'm gonna do is just switch off the heat, let it subside just a little bit. You can reserve these pickles in sterile or sterilized containers. You just need to make sure that they are sterilized for you to ensure that it will stay longer for a longer period of time. So what I'm gonna do is pour over this pickling liquid right on top. Super simple, super easy. Just make sure all of those pieces of onions are nicely submerged. What you want to do is just make sure that the liquid completely cools down, and then you're able to seal off your pickled onions and reserve them on your counter or in your fridge for many months to come. So I'm gonna set this aside in a cooler area in my kitchen, and we're gonna start working on our second pickle for the day. So we're ready to work on our next pickle of the day. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make some cucumber pickles. For that, what you're gonna need are some black peppercorns, some bay leaves, salt, sugar, and some thinly sliced cucumbers, vinegar, and water. So again, this is super easy, super simple. What we're gonna do in our pot right over here, we're gonna pour together our vinegar and water. I'm gonna pop in a few pieces of black peppercorns, our 2 bay leaves, the full amount of sugar, and some salt. I'm gonna switch on the heat just like our initial or our first pickle that we made for the day. Just gonna switch on the heat, bring it up to a boil, and then pour it right over our cucumbers. So I'm just transferring our cucumbers right into another container. And again, this is also a very versatile pickling liquid. It is a little less pungent than our initial pickling liquid just because this has a mix of water and vinegar, but it's still super delicious. So my pickling liquid has come up to a boil. I'm gonna switch off my stovetop, and just like we did before, I'm gonna pour this right over our cucumbers. Super simple, as you can see, super easy. What I'm gonna do is set this aside in a colder area in my kitchen, and meanwhile what we're gonna do is work on our burgers. Welcome back, everyone. Meanwhile our pickles are cooling down, what we're gonna work on is our burger. For that, what you're gonna need is some shredded lettuce, tomatoes, salt, mayonnaise, oil for cooking, some black pepper, butter, some cheese, a burger bun, and a burger patty. So I actually shape this by hand. I always use a mix of 70% ground beef and 20 or 30% fat, and that gives me perfect results every time. So to start off, what we're gonna do is switch on our heat. And I'm gonna start over here with my burger patty. I'm gonna pop on some gloves. I always like to shape my burger patty just slightly bigger than my burger bun, because what is gonna happen, our burger patty is actually going to shrink after being cooked. So just to be on the safe side, what I do is always shape it a bit bigger, just like so. A bit bigger than our burger bun. There are many burger presses out there that you could use. I just don't mind shaping them by hand. It gives a very rustic touch. I'm just heating up my pan over here, and what I'm gonna do is add some oil. So I'll teach you guys a trick with cooking your or searing off your burger patty. Is once you have it on your pan or right when you're gonna have it on your pan is when you're gonna season it. So it's very important to do that, because with any type of meat or anything in general, once salt is added to it, the moisture is really drawn out. So what's gonna happen? Your cooking is gonna be very uneven. So what you wanna do is always salt right when you're about to have it hit your pan. So my oil is starting to heat up, so this is where I'm going to start to season my burger patty. And I'm going quite generous with the salt and with the pepper as well. And it is time to put our burger patty onto our pan. And what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of pushing in that seasoning just to make sure that it's actually latching onto my meat. And we're gonna put this right onto our pan, away from us. So what I'm doing is initially giving it a nice push. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this kind of cook without disturbing it to get a nice sear. Over here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start heating up my pan. And I'll add just a small knob of butter. So what's gonna happen over here is I'm going to toast my burger buns to give it a nice, beautiful crust on the inside. So what I'm doing over here is I'm adding one burger patty at a time and letting that toast very ever so slightly. So my burger patty is almost ready to flip to the other side. What I'm gonna do is season it before flipping. So this is very important. Before doing anything else, what I'm going to do is add on my cheese and cover this up and let it cook with the residual heat from the pan. It's going to nicely melt our cheese and fully cook our burger patty. I don't really like burger patties that are cooked well done, so I'm going to go for a medium well. Just keeping an eye on my pan over here that I'm not burning my burger patty. And you can opt for any type of bread. If you want to use a brioche bread, that would actually taste even better, so I highly recommend that. This is nicely toasted. I'm going to soak up the remaining amount of butter with the other patty and get that nicely toasted. So once you're sure you have reached your desired doneness with your burger patty, you could start by building your burger. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to grab our mayonnaise, and you could add in mustard or even ketchup as well. I just really like mayonnaise in my burger, and I want to mute down all of those flavors because I really want my pickles to shine. So I'm going to spread that mayonnaise all over. Just like so. I'm gonna add our burger patty next, right over here. Gonna add that shredded lettuce and a few slices of tomato. And again, this is very optional if you want to add the vegetables or not. But our main star of the show is our pickles. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab those. Just make sure that any of that excess pickling liquid is removed. And I'm just gonna spread that right over. And in comes our pickled cucumbers. Pop the lid on top of your burger. And here is your perfect burger made with our homemade pickles. And here we have our final dish of the day. We made a burger using our pickles made from scratch. We made some pickled onions and some pickled cucumbers as well. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time on From Scratch.